Welcome to our channel where we try to untangle and simplify financial terms and concepts so you can have a better understanding of your finances. Have you ever wondered how your money can grow over time? The key lies in understanding compound interest. Welcome to the fascinating world of finance where money doesn't just sit idle. It grows, it multiplies, and it compounds. Today, we're talking about a fundamental concept that can transform the way you view your finances: compound interest. We're going to break down this seemingly complex term and make it as simple as possible. We'll delve into what it is, how it differs from simple interest, and how it's calculated. We'll touch on the crucial components that make up compound interest: the principal, the interest rate, and the compounding period. And of course, we'll show you the magic formula that brings it all together. So, let's dive into the world of compound interest and discover how it can help your money grow. Compound interest, a term that sounds complicated, but is it really? In fact, it's quite straightforward. Compound interest is the interest you earn on both your original money, also known as the principal, and on the interest you continually accumulate. It's essentially interest on interest. To illustrate, let's imagine you're planting a tree. The seed you plant is your principal. The tree that grows is your interest. Now imagine if each leaf on that tree could grow its own smaller tree. That's compound interest in action. Unlike simple interest, which only grows based on the initial principal, compound interest allows your investment to grow exponentially. This is because the interest you earn is continually reinvested, allowing you to earn additional interest on top of it. So, if you're looking for a way to maximize your savings or investment, compound interest is a powerful tool to consider. In other words, compound interest is earning or paying interest on top of your initial investment, plus any interest already earned or owed. Now that we know what compound interest is, what are the key factors that influence it? Every story has its leading characters, and in our tale of compound interest, three main protagonists take the stage: the principal, the interest rate, and the compounding period. First, let's meet the principal. This is the initial sum of money that's invested or borrowed. Picture it as the seed you plant in the soil. It's where everything begins. Next, we have the interest rate. This is a percentage of the principal that gets added over a specific period. It's like the water and sunlight that help your seed grow. A higher interest rate is akin to more nourishment, causing your investment or debt to grow faster. Now, there are two types of interest rates: nominal and effective. The nominal rate is the basic, stated rate, while the effective rate takes into account the impact of compounding. The effective rate is what shows the actual yield of your investment or the true cost of your debt. Finally, we have the compounding period. This is the frequency at which interest is added to your principal. It could be annually, semi-annually, quarterly, monthly, or even daily. Think of it as the seasons passing by. The more frequently the seasons change or the interest compounds, the faster your seed grows into a tree. So how do these factors play together? Let's say you plant a seed, your principal, give it plenty of water and sunlight, a high interest rate, and let the seasons pass by quickly, a short compounding period. What happens? Your seed sprouts into a towering tree much faster. Conversely, if you start with a small seed, a low principal, provide minimal water and sunlight, a low interest rate, and let the seasons pass by slowly, a long compounding period, your seed takes much longer to grow into a tree. So the principal, interest rate, and compounding period are the three key factors that determine how much your money can grow with compound interest. Ready to do some math? Don't worry, it's simpler than you might think. Let's dive into the formula for calculating compound interest. The formula is A equals P times 1 plus R over N, all raised to the power of N times T. Sounds complicated, right? But let me break it down for you. A stands for the future value of the investment or loan, including the interest. P is the principal amount or the initial sum of money invested or borrowed. R is the annual interest rate in decimal form. N is the number of times interest is compounded per year. And finally, T is the time the money is invested or borrowed for in years. Let's illustrate with an example. Suppose you invest $1,000 at an annual interest rate of 5%, compounded annually for 10 years. The P is $1,000, R is 5% or 0.05, N is 1 since it's compounded annually, and T is 10 years. Plug these into the formula, and you'll find that your investment will grow to approximately $1,640 after 10 years. Now, let's look at a loan example. If you borrow $2,000 at an annual interest rate of 6%, compounded semi-annually for 3 years, the P is $2,000, R is 6% or 0.06, N is 2 because it's compounded semi-annually, and T is 3 years. Using the formula, you'll find that you'll owe approximately $2,380 at the end of 3 years. As you can see, the frequency of compounding can make a significant difference. The more frequently interest is compounded, the higher the future value of the investment or loan will be. And that's how you calculate compound interest. With these examples, you can see how your money can grow over time. Time is money, especially when it comes to compound interest. That's a phrase you've probably heard, and it's never been truer than when talking about this financial phenomenon. You see, time plays a critical role in the world of compound interest. It's like a secret ingredient that can turn a small sum into a substantial one. Let's imagine a snowball rolling down a hill. As it rolls, it gathers more snow and grows larger, right? That's compound interest in a nutshell. The longer it rolls, or the longer you let your money grow, the bigger it gets. Now, the same principle applies to debts. The more time you allow a debt to sit, the more interest it accumulates. That's why it's important to pay off debts as soon as possible. In essence, time can be your best friend or your worst enemy when it comes to compound interest. The key is to use it to your advantage. Remember, the longer you let your money grow, the more powerful compound interest becomes. Ever heard of the rule of 72? It's a simple way to estimate how long it will take for an investment to double. This rule is actually a shortcut in financial math, a quick estimation tool. You simply divide the number 72 by the annual rate of return, and voila! The result is approximately how many years it will take for your investment to double. Let's say you have an investment with an annual interest rate of 6%. Using the rule of 72, you'd divide 72 by 6, which equals 12. So it would take around 12 years for that investment to double in value, all thanks to compound interest. But the magic of compound interest isn't limited to growing your investments. It also plays a vital role in various other financial realms. For instance, savings accounts. When you deposit money into a savings account, the bank pays you interest, and over time, this interest is added to your principal amount. The bank then pays you interest on this new, larger sum. This is compound interest at play. Then, there are loans and mortgages. When you borrow money, you agree to pay back the principal along with interest. The interest is calculated on the principal amount, and if you don't pay it off, it gets added to the principal. The next time interest is calculated, it's done on this new, larger amount. This too is compound interest, but in this case, it's working against you. And let's not forget about retirement planning. Compound interest is the secret sauce that makes your retirement savings grow. The more time your money has to grow, the more you benefit from the compounding of interest. This is why starting early is so crucial. So whether you're saving, investing, borrowing, or planning for retirement, the concept of compound interest is a key player. It's a powerful tool that can work for you if you understand it, or against you if you underestimate it. From savings accounts to retirement planning, understanding compound interest can help you make smarter financial decisions. So, we've covered a lot today about compound interest. But why is it so important to understand? Let's quickly recap. We've learned that compound interest is the interest on your initial principal, and also on the interest that accumulates over time. We've seen how the principal, interest rate, and compounding period play a key role in determining the growth of your investment or debt. We've also explored the formula for calculating compound interest and understood the role of time in this process. We've seen how the rule of 72 can give us a quick estimation of when our investment will double. And we've touched on some applications of compound interest in real-world finance. Remember, understanding compound interest is more than just wrapping your head around a financial term. It's about knowing how your money can work for you. It's about making informed decisions and planning for your future. So in summary, understanding compound interest is not just about knowing a financial term, it's about empowering yourself to make informed decisions about your money and future.